Makes me feel sad.
In a public service message, Zariel Trotter pleads for an end to the gun violence in his neighborhood.
I don't want to live around my community where I got to keep on hearing and hearing. People keep on getting shot, people keep on getting killed.
Last month, he joined the victims, wounded in a crossfire. The first 3 months of 2016 have been the most violent since 1999. Murders are up 71% over last year's level. Shootings are up 73%.
This is Chicago's Austin neighborhood. It's where Zariel Trotter was shot last month by a stray bullet. More than a dozen people were shot that night. There have been well over 700 shootings so far this year. I can't give you a more precise number because by the time you see this, it will have changed.
Chicago's south and west sides, where life appears to be as cheap as the bargain burials advertised here, has battled gun violence for decades. A mix of extreme poverty, access to illegal guns, and a culture of violence have left a scarred landscape and camera-shy residents.
Hey man, what the f is you doing, man?
But this year's surge in violence comes amid political and economic chaos. After a police officer shot and killed Laquan McDonald, who was walking away and armed with a knife, the mayor fired the city's police chief, and protesters filled the streets.
So there's been a tremendous breach of trust between residents and the police. The police know that they're being scrutinized now, perhaps the highest level they've ever been scrutinized in the history of policing in Chicago. Therefore, the police are a little more cautious. It's what I would call non-aggressive policing is going on right now.
A mild spring puts armed men in closer contact, and the city's ended funding for the private violence mediators who once patrolled Chicago's gangland streets. Andrew Holmes still volunteers as a crisis responder, rushing to shooting scenes, helping grieving families, and brokering truces between rival gunmen.
So how often do you respond to a gunshot incident?
You know what the way it's going now in Chicago, almost every 13 minutes, every 15 minutes, the way it's going now. You know, it's getting pretty deadly here.
He's been shot. In the past year, his niece and daughter were both gunned down.
It's still tough on me, but you know, at the same time, it's get tough talking about my daughter because I miss my baby. But I got to keep doing what I'm doing because this is what I started. And I know how parents are feeling now.
Holmes doesn't expect the shootings to end immediately. He's hoping to help slow a pace of violence that's risen out of control. John Hendren, Al Jazeera, Chicago.